So, people want to know what I think about this stream with Jim. A lot of people, you know, Ethan Ralph tries to spin his sad narrative. He's in here saying, show the receipts. I ask Ethan Ralph to show his report history. I ask Gator to show his report history. Even Medicare wants to see it. And that's the reality, is that Ethan Ralph was exposed tonight live on air. He tried to restream it like a hero. He told you I would be Amos Yee. He told you I would be Chris Chan. He told you I would be exposed as a pedophile. He told you that Jim would utterly destroy me and break my spirit and pound me into the dust. None of those things happened. None of those things happened. Ethan Ralph was exposed once again by his daddy, by his lord, by his master. Jim shit all over him. Said it was very gay that he flags people down. Jim admitted, I won against Rekieta and Dick Masterson. When yesterday, the narrative was, PPP totally lost. He was humiliated yesterday. He was blown out, guys. That was the narrative you heard from Josh. That was the narrative that you would hear from these shills like Gator, like Flamenco, like Bibble, like Ralph, like Rand trying to claim I'm a Jew. All this garbage. Do you know what I mean? He's arguing with Pipple. I'm somewhat trepidatious to stream with PPP. Daddy Jim will stream with him, but I'm somewhat trepidatious. Are you still afraid, Rand, you bitch, or do you want to talk to Surfer? A guy who actually stands for what he believes in instead of being a little sellout bitch who fucking slurps the gunt crease like a fag. What's our F-slur? Oh no, it's the end of the program, the F-slur. Isn't anybody else sick and tired of this fucking bullshit, this self-censorship crap that Nick Rekieta preaches, that Ralph preaches now, that Jim is defending this doctrine of self-censorship, saying that it's perfectly fine, saying that the only thing that matters is money, saying that Jim admits now that he's sold out. Jim admits he's ashamed of Gamergate. Jim admits that. He admits he's ashamed and he regrets Gamergate. His biggest contribution to anything in the world in his whole life, and he feels shame about it. You know? It's very obvious that I was not completely blown out in any of these interactions. But you have idiots out there who try and spin it and gaslight you and say, yeah, he was exposed as a pedophile. When did Medicare say that? PPP was exposed as a false flag. It's delusional. It's the sort of people who just fucking run mental gymnastics because they have to defend their E-daddy. They have to defend either Ethan Ralph or Jim or Nick Rekieta or Dick Masterson. And I'm fucking fighting with the big boys here. I'm fucking boxing with these supposed big boys. The fucking toughest, baddest motherfuckers in the whole world. Dick Masterson, award-winning comedian, knows how to handle any heckler. Gets blown out by a fat Canadian. Obese virgin there, guys. Somehow that it's admitted now by Jim. Will the Gunt Guard continue to deny reality? Will they go against what Daddy Jim says? Will they actually say, Daddy Jim, you're wrong, fuck you, Daddy Jim, to his face? Say, no, Dick Masterson won, Nick Rekieta won? Will you continue to deny it? It's just sad. It's just sad, but you have these motherfuckers who can't do anything but cope, who can't do anything but cry. And they sit here and they restream me for content because I'm the only entertaining motherfucker around. You have Ethan Ralph who says, I brought back Bloodsports. You have fucking all these idiot spurgs in the Gunt Guard who try and say Ralph brought back Bloodsports. Ralph's fucked. He's a loser. He's a joke. He got exposed as Mundane Matt tonight. He got exposed as Tonka Saw tonight. He is both Mundane Matt and Tonka Saw in one. But he's also a fat alcoholic pill-popping retard. Imagine that, who lives in a fucking trailer park, who's a nobody and a bum, a fucking jabroni, a shit on the underpants of society, a shit stain, a worthless degenerate who contributes nothing to this world but stealing his mother's welfare checks and pills. This is what he contributes to the world. And his sad fucking Janny Gator, who comes in to clean it up, Where was Jim's lauding of Shannon's performance to clean it up last night? Where was Daddy Jim to say Gator was based? What a funny guy Gator is. Where was that? You know? What we got to see today, actually, was Janny Jim. We got to see Janny Jim get the fucking mop and try and clean it up. I don't know what to say. I mean, the reality of it all is that Leo came in, and I hate to criticize Leo, but he told me before he would not interrupt. He was not going to say a word. He said the same thing to Medicare. When he came on and started to do his thing, I was absolutely shocked. When Leo says that he's the third man, he's not the real third man. That's not reality. It's just not. But Leo had to come in and he did his thing. And I'm not really going to comment too much on Leo Pirates because it's my performance that I'm talking about. And what ended up happening was that Ethan Ralph was destroyed in real time by his daddy, in real time on his stream, when Medicare told him to pull up his report history. Do you know what the response was from Ethan Ralph? The response from Ethan Ralph tonight was to, guys, I got to go real quick. He went off cam. His screen went down. It went black for a good 5-6 minutes while he desperately scrubbed. He desperately scrubbed away his sins of false flagging so that he wouldn't become Mundane Matt. But everybody knows you're a flagger. You've admitted it with JF. You may as well just come out and say Shannon flagged it down. We're proud. We won. Or Dick may as well come out and just admit it. It's obvious at this point. And they say, where's the proof? PPP's insane. Where's the proof? Even Jim had to admit there's something to this. Even he had to admit he would watch what evidence came out and he would condemn who was guilty. And those who are guilty will be condemned, if not in this life, then in the life to come by the righteous King of Kings, Jesus Christ. The King and King of Lords who Jim spits in the face of. Well, some of his audience, I'm sure, are Christians who try and support him because they think he's good for the right-wing movement or the white nationalist movement or whatever. But sadly, they're deluded because Jim doesn't care about morality. He doesn't have any principles. He's this nihilistic piece of trash, really. Honestly, guys. You know, and I don't mean to be this fucking hard, but it's true. This, with all these guys, with Dick Masterson, with Ethan Ralph, with all these motherfuckers, they're all atheistic. They're all secular humanists. They all glorify themselves above God. They think that they know better than God. But they're wrong. And they'll suffer in the end, and their sins will be exposed, and they will come to light. Ethan Ralph today is talking about fighting me, challenging me to fights last night. You know, Ralph is such a... I mean, I obviously would do it in a heartbeat. You know, Ralph needs, how much? $8,000 now? How much will it be, Ralph? Will you ever show up? Will you actually do anything? I'll tell you how the fight between me and Ethan Ralph goes, right? The man is 5'4" at best. I am 6'4". The man claims to be 267 pounds. I am 360 pounds. I have 100 pounds of weight. I have a foot in height. His arms are simply too short to box with God. Because God is in my corner. Because he knows that my cause is righteous and just. To drive the merchants out of the temple. To drive the money changers out of the temple. To cleanse and purge this entire scene from the decadent, degenerate grifter filth and hug box that it's become. And tonight you saw Janny Jim clean it up. You know, tonight what you saw was a man acting in bad faith. I had him on in good faith. And I tried to treat him right. And I honestly don't really have as much of a problem with him as I have with his stupid fans who refuse to admit that it was a fairly even discussion. It was a discussion that was not like fucking a screaming match or one guy got blown out or destroyed. We had a discussion about things. And Jim admitted things he's never admitted before. But people won't, they'll just try and deny reality. They'll try and say Ralph won somehow. He had like less than 100 viewers on Entropy. Ralph claims he won because he made $500. I wonder how much he's going to lose in terms of super chats, in terms of Patreon, in terms of his new project too. I wonder how many of his supporters are going to give up on him permanently because of what they've learned and what Daddy Jim's opinion was. Is it $100 a month? Is it $50? Is it $200? Is it $75? Even if it was $1 that didn't go to Ethan Ralph, it was all worth it in the end. And you know that some of the Gunt Guard woke up tonight. You know that some of them honestly have just been conned by a charlatan, and when they see the truth about this man, that he has become Tonka Saw, he is challenging people to IRL fights on the internet, which I accept and I'll just destroy him, you know. But he's challenging people to IRL fights on the internet. He's false flagging people's streams. He is absolutely full of shit in every conceivable way. But you idiots try and defend him still. Guys, you can say it's a cope all you want. The real people who are coping right now are Gator, who tries to say Gay Opwinson, who just says it's Kraut, it was all a Krautist op, who says that it was Coach Red Pill who did it. You know, they can't even get a solid, coherent narrative because they have no fucking idea what's going on. They're jokers. And even Medicare couldn't really defend New Project 2. He had to admit most people would not file an LLC. Most people have given their info to Dick. And the guy just pled ignorance pretty much the entire time. It was pleading of ignorance. I don't know, I haven't learned, and then saying definitively, yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Well, if you're ignorant and you don't know what you're talking about, how can you tell me, who's clearly more learned and invested, that I'm wrong when you have less info? It's just sheer ignorance. It's sheer ignorance to say that there's nothing to go on when you've done, by your own admission, zero research into this. But I mean, eventually he came through to the light, Jim did, and said, no, guys, I'll look into this. I'll look in the next videos and see what evidence there is. And Leo's video is coming, and Jim has to watch it. He said he would. We'll see what his response to that video is. I know others are working on videos as well, compiling evidence and going through all the cover-up and proving the collusion. And I know that things are going to leak out and that the truth is going to be revealed. It always eventually is. The truth always wins out. And I have the truth on my side. And the PPP Mafia has the truth on their side. And no matter what they say, that I'm fat, that I'm a retard, a virgin, I'm Amos Yee, I'm Chris Chan, the truth is, I transcend them. I am better than them. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. They cry because I'm more charismatic than Ralph, because I'm smarter than him, because I'm better looking, because I'm younger and sharper and quicker and more morally adept and spiritually fulfilled than Ethan Ralph ever will be in his life. The man's God is alcohol. Even Jim says he has a problem. He says you need to put down the bottle. Leo says you need to go to jail to learn your lesson to put down the bottle. But I know for a fact, Ethan, that you will never, ever put down the bottle. And you will always be trapped within the cage of the system. You will always be under the thumb of the authorities. You will always be a ward and a bitch of the state because you cannot control yourself. So others must correct your actions for you. And it's only a matter of time before your actions lead to you being behind bars once again because you're a selfish, irresponsible, immoral douchebag. And when you go to jail again, I will laugh. And when I beat the fuck out of you at Knoxville or at Las Vegas or in London or in Toronto or in the back alley behind the McDonald's in Cincinnati, Ohio, or wherever the fuck on earth you want to fight me, bitch, what will happen is I will fucking take you down and I will place my 400-pound gunt directly into your mouth and you will slurp my gunt crease and I will take my finger and I will ram it up your ass, and I will sodomize you wrestling style, and the ref won't even know what's happening. He won't know. As I sodomize your asshole, and then I take my hands and I fucking grope you, and I make you my bitch, and I emasculate you and take your masculinity from you. And as I flip you onto your fucking belly and mount your asshole and begin to fucking destroy you, to begin to rain down blows to the back of your head, permanently brain damaging you and paralyzing your sad fucking ass, so that you really are Donga in a fucking wheelchair for the rest of your fucking life. And if this fight happens on the street, after I've knocked you fucking unconscious, you fat sack of shit, I will stand up and put your fucking mouth on the curb and stomp it, American History X style. And your fucking brains will be on the goddamn concrete sidewalk, bitch. Let's do it in some third world country without laws. You think I fucking fear you, son? It's fucking no chance in hell. Your fucking reach is going to be a full 12 inches shorter. So you can't box with God. You're 100 pounds lighter. You can't grapple me for shit. You're going to be fucking tossed on your head. I'm literally going to pick you the fuck up and drop you on your head and break your fucking neck. There is pretty much no way you're going to walk out of this fight the same way you walked in. You might have $8,000, but you have no health insurance. And you're hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole. So enjoy the fucking medical bills that also can't be discharged in bankruptcy in your shithole of a land, where you get raped by your medical debt and your goddamn student loan debt, and you say debt doesn't matter when you'll never own shit in your life. You'll never amount to anything, Ethan. But cry yourself to sleep. Try and fucking... You won't even be able to hold the money in your hands. You're fucking be crippled from the neck down. You're literally going to be fucking controlling your wheelchair with your tongue. That's what will happen if you dare fucking step to me, bitch. You say you're fucking hood rich, you're a gangster, you're this, you're that. You're fucking nothing. You're my prison pride bitch. You're my fucking slave. Every day I live rent-free in your head. You seethe in my fucking chat, and you coped. You said all this morning was what Ethan Ralph said in my chat is, I'm going to go to bed any minute now. I'm going to go to bed any minute now. 2 hours later, he was still in the stream chat, getting dunked on by Kraut. Again, let me repeat, getting dunked on by Kraut. Getting dunked on by Coach Red Pill. Getting dunked on by me. Getting dunked on by every single person in the chat because he's a fucking mongoloid who has no ability to even defend himself verbally, let alone physically. And he's afraid of me. He's afraid of me. He's seen me dismantle rackets, who runs his grift racket, stealing money from people, the hook-nosed, slimy lawyer. Just the archetype of dishonesty. Tries to lecture me about lying. Get real. I dismantled the Mexican gardener who's not even fit to blow leaves, trim hedges, or water the fucking petunias. Who's not fit to do any sort of actual work. He's a broken down, balding, fucking middle-aged man who comes on the internet and tries to pretend he's cool. But he hasn't actually been in a comedy club in like 10 years. So he can't even deal with hecklers. He can't shut down who's supposedly the fattest, most retarded man in the world. Sad. But don't worry, guys, they won. Even though Jim admits that I won. Multiple times he had to confess that I won. And tonight it's not about, did PPP win, did Jim win? It's not about that. It's about the fact that Ethan Ralph lost. And lost so badly. And he will never, ever recover. And if he tries to step to me to try and get his sad little revenge, I'll knock his ass out. And by the way, his dad, Ronnie Ralph, is still alive. He is so embarrassed of his son. He was so embarrassed of his son that he fucking had to fake his own death and change his name and move to a trailer park in Georgia. And I've interviewed Ronnie Ralph, and I know firsthand what a disappointment Ethan Ralph was growing up. And it's sad that Ralph tries to still, choke on his father's death. He brings up tears and cries about his father's death. But I know that his father is alive. And to be honest, if his father was dead, I would piss on the grave. But I know the gravestone is fraudulent, and there actually is no Ronnie Ralph in there. It was all a scam for insurance money. And Ralph is just embarrassed. He can't admit that his old man is alive and that he's ashamed of him. But it's okay. It's okay, little Ethan. I'm here to confront you with the hard truths. I'm here to confront you with Ralph Retort level journalism. The only journalism that really matters, The Ralph Retort journalism, guys. It's the same journalistic standard that allows me to say that Ronnie Ralph is alive, allows Ethan Ralph to print his muck and his garbage on his website. So I'll stand on the First Amendment and make myself tall. And he can try and Jerry Falwell all he'd like. But at the end of the day, he's just a salty little bitch. He's my prag. And every single day he copes and seethes, and I live rent-free in his mind as he spirals further and further down into alcoholism, into complete failure. But this man thought he would break me. Ethan Ralph thought he would call my family. He would fuck with my family. He would send pictures of me naked to my family. He would fucking call Surfer at 2 a.m. He would do all of these things. And I would just take it and I would die and I would lay down and fucking be his bitch. Well, who's the bitch now, faggot? Oh, Effsler. Oh, Shannon. Get the broom, Shannon. Brother Gaines, clean it up. Clean it up, Gator. Get in here and clean it up. Where is Vito? Tell me, where is Vito? For I much desire to speak with Vito. Where's Vito? Give me Vito next. Let me just hear from Vito's own mouth about the four videos that he's flagged in the past. Let me hear about that there, Gator. Oh my God. It's sad. It's sad. They'll cope and they'll cope and they'll cope. How much money, Ethan, is it going to take for me to paralyze you? How much money is it going to take for you to face me? You say you're going to send me to the hospital. I mean, I might visit you in the hospital so that I can fucking, take a shit in your fucking meal at the hospital or piss on it, or fucking jerk right off and give a cum tribute on your sandwich, which will then be force-fed to you by the nurse because you'll be fucking unable to feed yourself. You'll be eating my fucking cum, literally, and my shit and my piss as I visit you. So I will be in the hospital. I will be in the hospital fucking raping you, fucking molesting you. I will be in the hospital at your bedside as you're sitting there paralyzed, looking up at me with glassy eyes of hatred, knowing that your life is over. And I stand there jerking off at your misery, fully naked in front of you. I turn around and show you the eternal glory of the starfish. And then I climax all over your fucking greasy face. And you face the full weight of my load of cum on your face at the hospital bedside. And Godwinson will bribe the nurses to make it so that they will allow me to do this to you. This is your fate. This is what will happen to you if you try and fight me. We'll get the money. We'll get the money, but you're afraid. You're afraid. You make this challenge in the time of the coronavirus when realistically nothing can be done for a year. But I say, Ethan, why don't you find a way to meet me in the parking lot of an Arby's, and I will fucking sodomize you like you did those girls in 1996 behind the dumpster of the Arby's. I will sodomize you and paralyze you right behind the Arby's dumpster. And I will toss your fucking paralyzed corpse into the fucking dumpster so you can stick out your fucking only working organ, which will be your tongue, to try and lick the goddamn curly fry grease from the dumpster. It's what you do. You eat from the trash, and you'll eat from the trash again. You pill-popping degenerate. It is the end for you, Ethan. It is the end. You are Mundane Matt. You are Tonka Saw. And you will actually end up the worst version of both. A beta cuckold, emasculated and raped and sodomized. Because we're not talking fucking civilized rules. We're not talking gentleman's rules. We're not talking Marcus of Queensberry rules. We're not talking the unified MMA rules. We're not talking submission grappling or sumo rules. We're talking, this is a fucking prison fight. Prison rules are in full effect. It does not fucking matter, Ethan. It does not matter. This will be behind the fucking dumpster of an Arby's. It won't be in the fucking arena in Knoxville. It won't be as your fantasy to be the hero on pay-per-view. You're just going to get fucking raped like you did in prison. You're going to have traumatic flashbacks to when they fucking raped your ass and burned a swastika tattoo into your asshole so that the blacks didn't rape you, so at least you only took white and Mexican penis. You didn't take black penis in jail. Maybe the Aryan Brotherhood was weak down south there and you were in a bad county and then the black brothers took you in the shower and fucked your ass. And maybe that's why you're turned on by interracial cuckold porn and the J. Caesar 187 channel. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. You were raped by the black men in prison because after the Aryan brothers had turned out your fucking asshole, you were such a punk bitch prison prag that they just let you get raped by the brothers. They didn't even have your back, even though you gave great head and you swallowed cum like Gator swallows yours. You still were raped and your dignity taken from you and made void. Your soul left your body and you are a soulless husk of a man who drinks every day to forget the memories of the prison showers and the gangbangs and the rapings that happened to you. It's all true. Do you know why? God told me. How about that? All will be revealed in time. The truth will set you free, boy. The truth will set you free. Those who live in lies, like Ethan Ralph and Dick Masterson, those who live in lies are doomed to the pit of iniquity, to the eternal fire that burneth ever hot, where the flame never dies and the worm never perishes, yeah. That's where Ethan Ralph will be after he's paralyzed, after he's sodomized again, after he relives all his traumatic fantasies. Then Gator will come in with the pillow. Gator will come in with the pillow, and it will be his epic gamer moment. He will have been the Joker. He will have been the Joker, the king incel. Gator will take the pillow and will smother Ethan Ralph to death as he's paralyzed in the hospital bed, having been raped, having eaten shit and piss and cum, having been totally dominated, emasculated, and paralyzed. Gator will clean it up one last time. He will clean it up one last time. And then Ethan Ralph will leave Gator precisely nothing in his will. Maybe all of his earthly debts will go to Gator. I don't know. But he certainly won't leave him the password to the kill stream. That will be going to probably Daddy Jim. Even though Daddy Jim shit on him tonight and admitted he was gay, you know, and it was wrong of him to flag. But he'll still give it to Daddy Jim because he licks Daddy Jim's gun crease. Even Ralph bows before the superior gun crease of Medicare. And we'll never know just how prodigious Medicare's gun crease was. I could feel a high gun power level radiating from Medicare. I could feel only the presence of a gunt perhaps even larger than I, even more autistic than I. It may have been even a 500-pound gunt, but we shall never know, for Jim does not show us his visage. But I felt that power, the miracle gunt power within Jim. Ethan Ralph, you're a joke, you're a fraud, you're a phony, you're a liar, you're a bitch, you're a beta, you're my prag, you'll be raped. Let's go, let's fight. It's over. You've lost verbally. You've lost in every possible way. What do you have left but to go full prison rules and try and redeem yourself? Try and put me in the hospital, bitch. Try and be the internet tough guy. You think you can talk a better game than me? You can't even carry your own show. You have to have guys play soundboards and give cold takes and play videos for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. You could never speak for 30 minutes like this off the top of your head like I have, with no preparation, with no rehearsal. So get back down in your fucking hole and cry. And let's remember, ladies and gentlemen, let us remember Josh, who was cleaning it up for Dick, who had locked the thread, who was cleaning it up for Dick. Well, it's interesting now, Dick Masterson is in the lol cow section of Kiwi Farms. So has Josh had a come to Jesus moment? Has Josh decided that maybe there's something to what I'm saying? That perhaps Masterson is in fact a piece of shit, and perhaps there should be discussion about him? Maybe, or maybe this is just a further part of the cover-up to make it look like as though Josh is no longer shielding him, because it was so transparent and so fraudulent what he was doing in the beginning. But even now, Juice is bending the knee. Even now, Juice is cleaning it up. He's cleaning it up. Apparently, he's been deleting comments. Is this true? Juice, are you deleting comments on the Kiwi Farms? I've heard that this has been the case. I've heard that you've been shutting it down all day. I've heard that there's been a flood of new users registering to defend Dick's honor. This is what I've been hearing. This is what I've been seeing. It's shameless. You see these same fucking shills for Masterson over and over again in these threads, coming in with inorganic posting, coming in with garbage, endless posts about how I'm fat. If you've seen some of the pictures posted on Kiwi Farms of me, do you think I'm ashamed of my body and of who I am? Or does it seem as though I'm very proud of who I am, very secure in who I am as a man and in my masculinity, to the point where I can cut a promo about raping another man's ass and still be masculine and still not lose crisis in the fact that I'm straight? And I'm doing this to this man to punish him because he has inflicted such great sin upon the world that only a righteous judge and punisher like myself can finish him and give him the justice that he deserves. And I will. Ethan Ralph has crossed all the lines. And so all the lines will be crossed with him. He thinks that he's safe, or his family's safe, or his property's safe when he comes after me and all that I have. It's prison rules now, Ralph. It's prison rules. You've come out swinging, flagging, running gay ops, running damage control. Why don't you just fight me like a man? Why don't you show up and do it for free like you're Janny Gator for once? Do it for free. Do it because you know that you have to redeem yourself. That I've been raping you so badly that your only hope is to try and fight me as your last Hail Mary to save yourself. But you will be bent over and sodomized. Your life will be taken from you. So sit down, be humble, learn the truth. The truth will set you free.